as a customer, if you see any of that stuff, you get up nicely, you shake the salesperson's hand, say, hey, it's been, well, so I wouldn't say it's been a real pleasure, but it's been somewhat of a pleasure to have met you and spend some time with you. And unfortunately, our time together has come to an end.
What do you see on this car deal worksheet, folks? We've got a 2019 Dodge Charger. It's a Hellcat that we're interested in purchasing, and we are in the great state of Florida. We're trading in our vehicle. Let's break down this out the door price quote. Market value selling price of $56,995. Tropical Advantage plan of $2,495. Used vehicle inspection of $1,199. Used vehicle reconditioning of $2,781.68. Outside financing of $3,000. Total purchase price up to $66,470.68. The dock fee in the state of Florida reasonable at this dealer at $979. Yeesh.
Yeesh is right. Yeesh. I mean, really? The Tropical Advantage package, I'm just assuming, since we're in the great state of Florida, that must include a lifetime's worth supply of sunscreen and things like that for any potential sunburns. Because what else could the Tropical Advantage package be? Used car vehicle inspection for $1,200. How does that not fall into line with the used vehicle reconditioning? So you charge your customers $1,200 to have inspected their vehicle, and then you have the nerve to charge them another $2,781.68. And my guess is, this is just a guess, but my guess is on every used car, the used vehicle reconditioning is always $2,781.68, because that is such an odd number that a customer would think, oh my gosh, it's down to the penny.
Yep.
It's just a made up number. And then have the nerve. So you're up to what, $4,000 for reconditioning and inspection, and then another $3,000 because, well, you have the nerve to do outside financing. As a customer, if you see any of that stuff, you get up nicely, you shake the salesperson's hand, say, hey, it's been, well, so I wouldn't say it's been a real pleasure, but it's been somewhat of a pleasure to have met you and spend some time with you. And unfortunately, our time together has come to an end. And then you just turn around and walk the hell out. I mean, that is pure, unadulterated nonsense, BS. Just one of the reasons why people hate car dealers.
One of the worst ones I've seen.
Really? You didn't see this coming?
Really, you've got to be kidding me, folks. Ford ends their EV certification program, reopening sales to all dealers. Ford is allowing the entire dealer network to sell EVs starting July 1st in a bid to better serve customers. No, it's in a bid to liquidate inventory that's overpriced and people don't want to buy. And I think that's important to bring up here in the context of a conversation around affordability and consumers making the choice of, am I going to Uber everywhere or am I going to buy a car? Ford is on plan B, folks. Originally, they were going to charge dealers an immense amount of money to sell EVs, and now they're not.
And if you didn't sign up for the top tier, which would allow you an unlimited supply of EVs, and those dealers that had signed up for the top tier are all probably choking on their unlimited supply of EVs. Or you could sign up for the inexpensive tier, which meant that you could get 25 EVs for your store in any given year. 25, 2 a month. Okay. So we went from those programs to, hey, it would just be easier for all of our customers. Well, if they can buy and service these damn EVs at any of our dealers. Uh, yeah, Ford made a huge mistake. Ford, we're not admitting that it was an error in judgment. Okay, don't admit it, don't say it, but that's what it was. Um, and the dealers, I will say this as nicely as I can. The dealers who signed up for the most expensive certification program where they had to invest $1.2 million so that they could be exclusive electric vehicle Ford dealers in their market area, they should have their damn heads examined. If
I
if
wonder
Ford
what's
is
going to happen
admitting
for
them,
them.
what was this?
You think they're going to get like a refund? Like, I wonder what's going to happen there.
I think the next time Jim Farley stopped by my store, I'd ask him to open up the checkbook. I think I'd ask him for some reimbursement. And Ford's way of the reimbursement will be, well, we'll give you a few more EVs to make up for it.
So are not all of these things correlated and interconnected, Dad? We started the conversation with how the hell are these automakers justifying their insane price points for their full-size pickup trucks? And then we realized, okay, it's because consumers are willing to pay these inordinate prices and extend themselves in their budget.
Yes.
However, the CFO of one of these major companies, Ford, has come out and said, I am very worried right now that inventory levels are too high. And so market forces would then suggest that you need to find a way to reduce supply so that, or increase demand. How do you do that? Well, you reduce supply by removing barriers to be able to sell your inventory, aka what Ford just did with their EV program here. They removed a barrier. They were penalizing supply for a period there. Now they're trying to get anyone and their brother to wholesale buy those EVs for them, and you have to increase demand. How do you do that? You lower price. So I feel like we're on the precipice of a really big continued reset in prices. However, all of the data shows that new car transaction prices are not going down significantly. That's where I hate to say it, eventually the bubble's got to burst, man, because the
You
inventory
think?
just can't sit there forever. Yeah, I do think, and I want to pull up Derek's comment here. Someone needs to go into a dealer and make an offer on a 2023 model and ask if they want to sell it before it qualifies for historic plates. We've been doing more videos over on the CarEdge channel where I call dealers and we record the conversations and we share them online. Let me know in the chat. Would you be interested in me trying to get offers or OTDs on some 2022 Ram 1500s, 2023 Ram 1500s? Because I want to understand the dealer rationale for holding on to this inventory. It makes no sense to me, Dad. All right. For the second year in a row. Oh, no. Second year in a row. This is since
Yes.
2002, man. This is for 23 years in a row, 22 years in a row. Jeep has been the number one most patriotic brand in the auto industry. Ford, second on the list as the second most patriotic brand. The irony in this is obvious, as what you just shared. Jeep is owned by a foreign company, even though we think of them as being the most patriotic brand of vehicle.
And it's not like Jeep has been owned by a foreign company and it just happened recently. Because before Stellantis took it over, it was Fiat Corporation. So maybe it's the most patriotic brand in Italy as well. I don't know. During World War II and after, with the Willys Jeeps and all that, yeah, I get it. It was an American vehicle. And yes, it represented everything that was good about our country and how we could all come together, and how during the worst of times figure out how to build the things that could get us out of the one of the worst situations the world had ever seen. I get that, but my goodness, we haven't. This isn't even an American company anymore.
UAW President Shawn Fain under investigation by federal watchdog. Court filing reveals. United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain is under investigation by a court-appointed watchdog tasked with eliminating corruption, according to the federal court filing, one of a series of probes targeting top leaders of the scandal-plagued union. Shaka.
Well, yeah, the UAW throughout its entire history and existence has been troubled with um, issues especially from former high-ranking members of the union. Monies that have disappeared. They just had issues. Okay, and um, Shawn Fain won an election based on he was going to bring change to the union and how they do things and be more transparent. But apparently, maybe change takes a little longer. Some old habits are hard to break. It happens. Yeah, I hope they sort it out. And hopefully, I mean, I believe there have been some former presidents of the union that have actually gone to jail,
Yeah.
and hopefully he's not one of them. So
That's why it's the really, you got to be kidding me. We come off of a year where these big kind of landmark deals are struck, and then
Yes.
only 6 months later, a year later, under investigation for corruption. It's like, yeah, this is not just an auto. This is not just an auto, which UAW
No.
represents not even just auto workers. They represent beyond auto workers,
Yes.
many industries. And so these organizations always end up in the headlines, and not a good look. Wonder if we'll get a Facebook live stream from him talking about this, because that's how he was doing the negotiating with the big three. From Fly Chomper, Fly, thank you. Shane barely got elected, and lots of people, Fain barely got elected, and lots of people don't like him, trying to undermine him. So yeah, could be that as well. Could be some ulterior motives that are playing a role in this as well.